Hello everybody, welcome back to Nana's Workshop. You're probably wondering why I have this big floppy hat on. Well, today I'm going to show you something to decorate for spring. I've been itching to start decorating outside, inside, in the garden, everywhere, all the things. I am ready for warm weather and to be out in that flower garden and play with all the flowers. So I'm going to run down the material list. Well, first of all, let me back up. We're going to make this garden girl decor, garden girl hat. And you can use it as a door hanger. You can hang it out on your front porch. My advice is to anchor it if you're going to have it outside, if you live in a windy climate, in a windy area. But we are going to make this garden girl hat, all right? And you can use spring flowers, fall flowers. You can make it for any season. So just get an array of different sizes and colors of flowers, whichever one you want. So to start out with, I actually bought these floppy hats on discount. They were out of season, so I got them for like 10 cents a piece. And I have made several garden girl hats. And so they come in different colors. This one, I think we're gonna make in pink today, okay? So get yourself some floppy hats, straw hats, as long as they're bendable, because we're gonna be bending it, okay? The next thing is you want some jute or raffia, because on this one, she has jute for hair. The other ones I have made, I've used raffia. I have unrolled it or strung it out and draped it over the hat and brought it down to the sides. And today I might use two different colors, kind of a mixture. So, so jute, very thick jute cord, or raffia. Next is, we have some, you can choose on different Google eyes. You can do several different sizes. Now on a hat like that, I have a small set on that one, but you can get different sizes, and I might go really, really big this time, just so her eyes stand out, you know? I think she's gonna make a statement this year, all right? 2024 is her year. She's unstoppable. Okay, so those eyes. And then we're gonna go, you can use anything for a nose. I used a pumpkin stem on that one. And you can spray paint them, whatever color you want. You can make them as long as you want. Yeah, I save my pumpkin stems. You can make so many crafts with real pumpkin stems. Pop them out of the pumpkin when they're ready and let them dry out. The next thing, you could even use a bead, a large bead for the nose. You know, get creative. You can use anything for that nose. For the mouth, I am going to use, I'm going to cut it out. And I've just basically have cut out the mouth every time. You can make it any shape. You can make her smiling, give her some teeth. And this is a sticky back sheet foam type material, and I got that from the Hobby Lobbies. And it's got a sticky back to it, so I'm going to cut out her mouth with that. Next, you're going to want some fake flowers, and like I said, you're going to need an array of different sizes, and I'm even going to add some leaves. First, you're going to want a very large one for the statement. For the very statement. It's just like arranging flowers. You're going to want one large and then surround it with mediums and then finish it out with all the smalls. Okay? So I have several large ones. I think we're going to go with this one since it's a dark pink hat we're going to use. You can make fall flowers, garden girl. So then your medium ones are about like this size. They're slightly smaller than that big one. And you're going to tuck them in around it, and then you can use these cute little white, little tiny ones to finish around it, or you can glue it to her hair strings all the way down. Okay, and then next comes the fun part. You can also add leaves in there, like tuck them up on the sides. And then next comes the, don't forget hot glue and your glue gun. Your hot glue and glue gun is the main thing you're gonna need for this project. And a pair of scissors and maybe even some wire cutters in case you have to cut those flowers off of a wire stem. Then comes the fun stuff, the embellishments. I found old bracelets, or you can use, she has a tiny, I don't know where I found these, and it was a bag of rings. So you can use real earrings. If you have old jewelry, use the old jewelry. I'm gonna use these bracelets. These old little bangle bracelets, that's what I want to say. These little bangle bracelets. She's gonna have some big bling going on there. So you can embellish her with just about anything. Next, she has a necklace of like rhinestones around her neck. So you can get these shimmery, they're flat on one side, these shimmery little, they're clear. They're clear little decorations. Another thing you can use is tiny colorful beads if you want to give her a necklace. So, or use a real old necklace that has something large and you just hot glue the whole thing down to that hat. Let's see what else. You're gonna need some twine for the hanger on the back side, and yes, scissors. So I think that's it. So let's get going and let's make a Garden Girl hat. Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. This, I know I'm gonna work on the pink one, but I have that drying, so I'm gonna use this one for this first step. So then we can go right into the pink one and start adding the rest of the embellishments since it's drying. So the first thing that I do is I determine where my top of my hat is going to be. And you can cut out the tag if you want. And I'm just going to use that as a guide. So the top, I'm going to cut a good size piece of twine. And I'm actually going to poke in those holes here. So I'm just going to use that to my advantage. So I'm just going to poke in to maybe an inch, inch and a half apart from each other, and feed them down through those holes. You can use any kind of, you don't have to use twine, you can just use anything that's going to be durable, that is not going to break, and that's going to kind of last if you're going to hang it on your door. So it's getting caught on something, so I'm just going to trim that. There we go. So then you feed it through. This is going to be your hanger, so for now I would just tie it loosely, tie a knot, and then make a loop at the end, and you can always trim that off later if you want it longer, or you can leave it untied at this point, so then you can gauge how long you want that. And then I usually trim off those excess. All right, so from here, now we can use the raffia. I unstrung it and kind of divided it, but now I'm gonna take an extra piece here and just wind it around to make it solid, because it helps, because you're gonna hot glue this to the hat right in that spot. So it helps to have kind of a solid base. And then use anything that you have other than your hands to hold that down and let it dry. So once you get that stuck on there and solid, then all you do is you fold that top. You don't fold it all the way forward, you fold it back off of that, the top of that hat. So the brim is going to sit back just a little bit. Okay? And then you can clamp that, you can pin that instead of holding it and waiting for it to dry. And just like that. Okay? So that is our first step. So you glue, put your hanger, glue your hair, and you pin the top. And I am going to try and get it to hold. So I'm just using something on the inside and something on top rather than my fingers because hot glue smarts a lot. Okay? So that's what we have so far, guys. I'm gonna go clamp this and I'm gonna grab the other pink one we're gonna finish up here. Okay, we are ready. This is all dry on the pink one. It's all solid and I have my hanger on the back side and all that. So I am going to, if it helps, you can tie these up and tuck them to the back if you want to keep them out of the way. It always helps, I feel, that I want to work on the flowers first and get them set. And then I will add to the face because you're going to be moving this around and you don't want any of that to pop off. Okay, so I'm going to start with the largest flower and pin that on, hot glue it on. I might even drape it down a little bit to the front. Okay, so you want to see where you want to put that and then add that hot glue in and make sure you add it to the hat and to the flower both. And then you're going to hold that on. And then you're going to determine some what you're going to use next. So let's add some yellow ones around the top and white ones around the side. So I'm going to tuck some white ones in around the side. So okay, so I think I'll get the yellow ones on first. And you just build, and there's a couple green ones too that I will probably add. So just tuck them in. I have to get some more glue. All right. Tuck them in, tuck them in. I'm just gonna tuck them in, keep tucking them in all the way around. And you can fluff them up after you get them in there. I want a green one maybe. Up, I think that would be really cute right in there. So I'm just gonna glue that right to the other flower. Now all it has to do is just touch that glue, but you do want to make sure it's solid. I'm going to go ahead and tuck these into the sides, just like this. And one on this side, I think I'll use this one. You can make this however you want, which with whatever florals, fake flowers you want. Like I said, you can make them fall colors. You can make them spring, summer, big old sunflower on the top. I'm gonna put that green one right underneath. That's gonna be kind of cute. That'll help lift that one too a little bit. Just be very, very, very careful you don't burn your fingers. Okay, so that's what we have so far. And now I'm gonna start adding the little ones. Okay, so the little ones can be tucked, well, I have some medium ones, and you just tuck them anywhere you want. They're kind of like a filler if you have ever potted plants, and you just keep tucking and keep tucking. And I'm gonna add another one. And let's put him out here. There. Okay. So that's what I have so far for the flowers. It's gonna dry for a second. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna do the face, and hopefully we can get her finished up, all right? But that is what we have so far. Okay, the flowers are nice and sturdy. You just keep tucking them in. The glue is still drying actually. So now, do you remember the little tiny, tiny flowers that I talked about? We can pull them off and stick them to the hair willy-nilly. So just a touch of glue and you can touch them to a piece of the hair. Just like that. Just like that. So you can use these all the way down the hair, which we can add on later, but that's what we're going to do with the little tiny flowers. And then also you can, I mentioned leaves. You can add the leaves up in the sides, just like that. So let's put a little bit of glue and tuck it right up inside there. I'm going to use my scissors to tap it down. So she has some greenery added. Now this one, put on the other side. You don't need a whole lot. I mean, you can add as much or as little as you feel she needs. Just have that glue touch. And so then she has a little bit of greenery. You can add some back in here and make it more full. And there, so it looks a little bit more full with the greenery added. You can even add some coming up the top and the back side. So like this one, I have one left here actually. You can add it to the back side. Okay, let's move on to some fun stuff. All right, so I have the mouth. All I did was cut that foam paper out, and I drew a shape on the back side, so I'm not using the front side to mark that up. And now I'm going to cut that out. I think I'm going to try and shape this up a little more. There, that looks a little bit more even. So that is going to be her mouth. And we can actually, I'm going to set this underneath so I can actually hold that up there. Hold her mouth on. So even though this has a sticky back, I'm going to still tack it with a little bit of hot glue. So maybe some up just on some points, just like that. Turn it around. Find out where you want her mouth, and ta-da! And you can draw the middle part on later on to give her that crease in her mouth. So that is sticking very, very nicely. Okay, so next, let's do her nose. All right, so I'm using a bead. I'm using a dark colored bead. I don't know if it's blue or black, but like I said, you can use the pumpkin stems. They actually do have little noses, animal noses at Hobby Lobby, but that is up to you what you want that nose to look like. But so we're gonna, since I'm giving her big googly eyes, I want her nose and mouth to match the size. All right, she's looking really cute. Too cute. All right, and then the googly eyes, they have no sticky back. Look at that, guys. So do one at a time, try and measure them out, eyeball it where you want it, eyeball it, eyeball it. And so you're gonna put hot glue around the outside. Do not put it in the middle because that's gonna make that pupil stick to that back side. So you just want a little bit, like a circle, and place it on there. And my thing is out. I'm just using that ball of string to help so I can push it from the back side without getting burnt. Just want to make sure it's stuck down. And then the other one, kind of eyeball it where you want that second one to match. So I'm kind of going by the circles of the hat to make it equal where the other one is. And again, I'm just going to go around the outside. And push it to make it stick. And it's still, you can kind of move it around if you have to make it balanced so it's not crooked or something. So I'm just gonna give it a couple seconds. All right. So there is her face. Don't you love her so far? All right. I am just loving her. So yeah, I can finish drawing that shape. I can outline her mouth and that shape in the middle. So next, you can use your embellishments. So like I said, you can add some beads to the bottom. You can add a real necklace, maybe a very chunky chain necklace with a really pretty medallion or something to the bottom. Right now, I think I'm going to put her earrings on, and they are, let's see. I'm gonna put them right about there, and I will even put some on the top, just some to drape on the top. So, and then that will probably take just a couple minutes to dry. Okay, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna put the other earring on, and I'm gonna come back. Okay, so everything is really getting dry and nice, and so I added her earrings, and I actually added the beads for a necklace. And now I am embellishing her hair with these little flowers. So you can just add them anywhere. You don't have to add them. It's totally up to you how you want to embellish your Garden Girl hat. Totally up to you. So I'm just adding them here and there. Like the petals are blowing in the wind into her hair. So, little sound effects there. And maybe one more. We're gonna put this on that one right there. Okay, so next I'm going to, you could even paint on her mouth. I'm going to just kind of outline it and give it some shape. So I'm just going to go around the edge. That way you can see her mouth a little bit better against that pink. So we're going to make a little it's called a name. There's a word for that little thing in your lip, isn't it? There's a word for that. I don't know what it is. If you find out what it is, message me and let me know. Okay, guys, there she is. There is your garden hat girl. And she's a little stuck to the table. That is why we use plastic. There we go. No worries. Okay, there we go. What do you think, guys? There's her. You can hang it on your door. You can embellish it however you want. Make her a fall theme, spring, summer. I bet you could even make her a winter theme. So there you go, guys. Don't you love her eyes? And you guys have great fun with this, and I cannot wait to see your projects after watching this video. You guys take care, God bless, and go bloom. Bye.